Google may have just killed ChatGPT, and the race for AI dominance just got brutal and smarter. So you guys might know that Google recently launched the AI mode. A lot of people are not happy with it. The quality of the searches, the search traffic is going away. A lot of website owner, publisher and bloggers are nervous because they will not get enough clicks from the search results. And all these are valid concerns, but we need to understand why this is the master stroke from Google. And after days of research, I convinced this was a really big master stroke. I even going to put my own money in Google stocks. And we should not forget that ChatGPT got 1 million users in the first 5 days of a launch. And to understand how Google play this master stroke, we have to understand some numbers. So ChatGPT launched in 2022 when Google was getting 8 billion searches per day. So these are numbers about how many Google searches daily happening on Google search and on ChatGPT, and also the valuation of Google, or you can say Alphabet company, and OpenAI valuation. Okay, these numbers, the best numbers I found through Google, DeepSeek, Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini. All these two give me the same numbers, and I did some also research on internet. And I think we can play with these numbers. They can be a little bit lower or higher, but these numbers are really important to understand. Okay, so you can see here in 2022, Google was getting 8 billion searches per day, and ChatGPT was really launched, got 1 million users, and by the end the valuation was around roughly $30 billion. Let's not keep these things very seriously, the strict numbers, but let's say it was making a big impact in this AI domain. In 2023, searches were almost double, like 40 billion searches every day, and valuation was $1.5 trillion. Where ChatGPT searches got 150 millions per day. It's huge number, but nowhere close to Google per day searches. But the important thing to see here is the valuation of OpenAI. It becomes 100 billion. And valuation of Google was $1.5 trillion, which is almost 15 times of OpenAI valuation. But the interesting things happens here in 2024. You can see the searches not much improved. They went from 14 to 15 billions per day. Valuation 1.58 trillion. But here ChatGPT searches got almost double. You can see from 14 billion to 15 billion, but ChatGPT searches got 150 million to 300 million, which is almost double. And you can see the valuation become $157 billion. It becomes more interesting in 2025, so estimated searches per day on Google are 15 billion around, and valuation become 2.0 trillion. But you can see searches on ChatGPT almost got double. Even we have so many players now in the game. We have ChatGPT, we have Grok, we have DeepSeek, we have Perplexity, and you can see not big change from last year to this year. And on ChatGPT, you can see 300 million to 500 million searches of queries per day. And we need to remember there's so many other AI players in the market, so traffic is not distributed here. But you can see the valuation almost got double in another year, $300 billion. So in just few years, the OpenAI's valuation got $300 billion, which is a huge number. It might not really look big here, but if we look at the graph here on the left side is the daily searching in billions. You can see Google is dominating 2023. Let's forget 2022. It was the time when OpenAI ChatGPT is launched. Let's say 2023, you can see the huge number, 14 trillions for Google, and OpenAI is like negligible in front of them. And then 2024 same, 2025 is same. Searches did not improve so much, but very significant. But here the interesting part is when you see the valuation of OpenAI becomes 300 billion in just few years. This is a huge thing. So this is a big threat to Google. So now what challenge Google are facing? So Google was under pressure. People no longer just Googling answers. You know, when you used to say, okay, just Google this answer, Google become a verb. But now people are ChatGPTing stuff. A lot of people, even myself also, I don't go to Google all the time. I just go to ChatGPT and ask a lot of questions. Developers, students, marketers, CEOs, they were spending more time in ChatGPT than on search, because search was not really useful like how ChatGPT is useful. ChatGPT gives direct conversational answers which are faster than traditional search. On search, we have to go find these links, go to those websites and find our answers. Sometimes those answers were not very satisfying. They were not something which we were looking for. And this was the first time Google monopoly was breaking. And I was also thinking why it's happening. Google is such a big company, such a huge company. They have such a big experience. They have access to so many resources. Why they are lagging behind in this race? Personally, I use ChatGPT every day. I find it much better than Gemini, DeepSeek, Grok, or any other tool. And I was not able to understand why this is happening. So now comes the part 3, which is the masterstroke AI mode. Now when I was doing research, I understand Google was playing very smart. They're flying under the radar. So what happened in 2024, Google launched AI overviews. So Google was testing AI overviews into Google search. And it was really annoying. Not a lot of people liked it, but still Google was saying they're high quality searches and stuff. But actually what was happening, Google was testing their Gemini model inside the Google search. And there's a big difference between ChatGPT and Gemini, and integrating Gemini intelligence into the search. So this is the master stroke of the Google. The master stroke, AI mode. And why it was master stroke? Because of distribution. Google has the biggest distribution. Google controls the distribution. It's not about which is the best product in the market. It also depends who got the best distribution. Google are getting 15 billion searches every day, where ChatGPT is getting around 500 million to 1 billion searches every day or queries per day. It is still a significant number, but Google still got the biggest distribution. And this is the time Google has to make some move. If they miss this thing, it's gonna be super late for them. But they're already preparing for it. They already launched AI overviews, and now they have the Gemini intelligence integrated into Google search. And why this is a big move? Let me tell you a few points why it's a genius mode. First of all, no behavior changes needed. So people already Google it, now AI is built into it. So you don't need to download different app, you do not need to go to a separate page, you do not need to do anything different. Everything is inbuilt. You go to Google search, you find AI mode there with the Gemini intelligence. We'll talk about later how it is different from ChatGPT and how different from AI overviews and everything and how good it is. Because trust me, when I did a lot of research, it's super good. And I will also tell you why people are nervous about it, that this search traffic is gonna be disappearing. But I think this is not a really big threat. Second point is massive data advantage. Google uses billion queries to improve answers daily, where ChatGPT has to be trained. Yes, ChatGPT got access to internet, but Google has much bigger database, so Google can train its Gemini intelligence much better into AI mode. Which brings to the next point, which is ecosystem power. So Google AI mode does not get only the Gemini intelligence. It is Gemini intelligence with the power of Maps, the power of Google My Business, with power of YouTube, power of Google Shopping, lot more things. They all are integrated together. ChatGPT can have access to all these things, but via API, they cannot have the full control of all these things. But with Gemini, you can have much better control on all this ecosystem. And just imagine, okay, ChatGPT is really cool tool. I do research there, but think about it. Google is a giant. Google controls so many giant products on internet. They got Google Docs, they got Android, they got Google Maps, they got Google Spreadsheet, they got AdSense, they got YouTube, they got so much products, so they can use all those together in the same ecosystem. And I think which is really big point for Google, and this is Google was hiding before. Google was playing really smart, and now Google came into full power mode, and now they launched the AI mode. So here is how AI mode looks like. So I live in France, I don't have access to AI mode, but I'm using VPN to access AI mode. If you want to know how you can do that, check the link in description. Okay, so let's ask help me find intro offers for popular gyms and workout classes. Now you can see this is the AI mode. So we are asking, and then what happened with all these results? There's 7 sites. Gemini crawled them and then gave us a result. And the result is not just coming from website, it's also showing the maps, the places here. And then you go, it gives more information about all those other things. Then you can see provide more information about workout classes like yoga, boxing, and again places. So it is much more detailed. And also in that, you got a map. So it is not just taking the help of the intelligence of Gemini, it's also taking the complete benefit from the complete Google ecosystem. If I do a similar search on ChatGPT, if I ask ChatGPT, help me find popular offer and workout classes. And let's do one thing, let's open them side by side. Here you can see they both got my location, but here ChatGPT answer looks like more like a informational answer. This is not very interactive. It's telling the general information that there's a newness chain around it, how much premium gyms and studio trials, but I think I like this answer. The best thing about this result is the layout design. I love ChatGPT, how easy it is to read. I don't know why the tools like Grok or Gemini or AI mode, why they don't have this kind of easy UX. This UX is the best UX. It's very easy to read with all these icons, and it's really easy to understand. But you can see there's big difference in the results here and results here. And you can see they give a quick comparison table. The query was help me find intro offers, popular gyms and workout classes. So I think this is something, this is a little bit better here, but this is more of a data. We don't know how exact this data is, but here we have the real actionable step. What we can do, we can just click on these things and we have much better data here. I'll be getting more videos on this topic, so make sure you please subscribe to the channel so you know all these things, how they're happening, what you need to do about it, how to rank on Google AI mode, and how you should not be afraid that your traffic will be stealing. And guys, let me know what do you think about it. This was my research. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but let me know what do you think about it. Please give a detailed explanation of what do you think about all these things. And if you're somebody who's nervous about your search traffic being gone, so please check this video on screen. I explain you how is the best time for you to get traffic from Google.